You know Brazil for football, samba, and carnival. But behind the postcards, there was a small group of families who quietly controlled everything: land, politics, even the emperor's favor. They were called the coffee barons, and they were Brazil's original old money elite. Welcome to Old Money Brazil, the series where we uncover how a handful of families turned coffee, land, and titles into generational power. In this first episode, we go back to the 1800s, when coffee transformed Brazil from a regional colony into a global export giant, and created an aristocracy that still shapes the country today. In this first episode, we go back to the 1800s, when coffee transformed Brazil from a regional colony into a global export giant. Plantations expanded fast, and by the mid-1800s, Brazil became the world's largest coffee exporter. In the early 19th century, Brazil's economy still depended on sugar and mining. Then global demand for coffee exploded. Southeastern Brazil, especially Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, and Minas Gerais, had the perfect mix of climate, soil, and ports. Plantations expanded fast, and by the mid-1800s, Brazil became the world's largest coffee exporter. This boom created a new elite, the coffee barons, huge landowners who controlled thousands of hectares and millions of coffee trees. Their wealth was built on harsh labor systems, first enslaved Africans and later poor immigrant workers, turning coffee into one of the most profitable businesses in the Americas. Money alone wasn't enough. Many barons bought or received noble titles from the empire: baron, viscount, even count, becoming part of Brazil's official aristocracy. By 1889, there were more than 300 barons, most of them tied to coffee. Their power was so big that, in the First Republic, politics became known as café com leite, coffee with milk, an alliance between the coffee elites of São Paulo and the cattle elites of Minas Gerais. Coffee money didn't stay in the countryside. It built railroads, banks, theaters, and European-style mansions in cities like São Paulo and Rio. Exclusive clubs, opera houses, and grand farmhouses in the Paraíba Valley became symbols of status, a Brazilian version of European high society funded by coffee. The Great Depression and falling coffee prices hit these families hard. Many estates were broken up, and the old rural aristocracy slowly lost direct control. But their legacy didn't disappear. Some families moved into banking, industry, and media, and old money surnames still carry weight in Brazil's elite today. The coffee barons turned beans into power, shaping Brazil's railways, cities, and politics for over a century. In the next episode of Old Money Brazil, we'll look at the Quatrocentos, the families who claim 400 years of lineage back to the very first Portuguese settlers. Subscribe and stay tuned if you want to understand who really built Brazil's old money world.